Unitary analysis can be one of the most important tools in your toolkit when it comes to chemistry or any other physical science. Now, this goes back to the idea of using conversion factors. So when we set things up, our units can cross-cancel. And if we check our units, we'll be able to verify our work pretty easily, and then it's simply a matter of plugging things into the calculator. Now, you can see here that we have it arranged so that 1 mile is on top and feet are on the bottom. We can flip this either direction. We can have mile on bottom and feet on top if we want instead. But notice, we need to have feet on a top and bottom portion of the fractions so they'll cross-cancel. So we'll flip it upside down to make sure that whatever unit we're ditching is going to be destroyed by this. Now, notice that they're going to cross-cancel like this, leaving me only in miles. We grab our calculator, we plug it in, off we go. Now, of course, we use our sig figs to decide how many sig figs we should have, because the correct answer needs correct value, correct sig figs, unit, and then later in the semester we'll see chemical species be there as well. Now, again, we'd have to be a little bit more picky about it here. We'd probably say 800 decimal point to communicate 3 sig figs. This will be infinite sig figs. Yes, that's my infinity sign. I've never been great at drawing that legibly. So our final answer, 3 infinity infinity, should be 3 sig figs. We'll chop it off right there. We have more values after this. So we look at that and say, right, it's higher than the 5. It'll round upward to be the 0.152 when we write it as a final answer. We can also do this for bigger sets. That's the great thing about dimensional analysis, or unitary analysis. We can chain together as many conversion factors as we need in order to get from one place to another. So notice here I'm in feet. I want to get all the way into kilometers. So how many feet, how many kilometers are from 800 feet? So we'll cross-cancel that into miles. We'll convert miles into kilometers, and then we'll be into kilometers. But notice the way this is arranged. This is a different layout that's doing the exact same thing. We're just still setting up fractions. It's just a fast way to keep organized. You don't have to write a number, multiplication sign, line, write it, multiplication sign, line, write it. Instead, we just make a quick grid like this, put anything that's on the top of the fraction on the top, and on the bottom of the fraction goes on the bottom. We're just treating each of these lines as being times symbols. And I like to use a double line to communicate that it's the equal sign to myself. Then what I'll do is I'll write my value, then I'll write my conversion factors, and once I finally see that I'm in the right unit, I'll put my bars and I'll grab my calculator. But I never pick up the calculator until I'm totally done laying this out. So here's the nice thing about the way it's set up. I'm going to be able to cross-cancel my feet. I can cross-cancel the unit miles. That gets me into kilometers, which is what I wanted to be at the very end. So each of those are going to be a fraction, and the bars are keeping it more organized. That way I don't get sloppy and make mistakes. But always remember, I keep saying that for a correct answer, you need correct value, you need units and sig figs, and chemical species if the problem involves it. No units, no points. And you'll see that during workshops, what I like to do, I like to make up my own units if you don't write it. I usually just default to badgers. So in this example, had you not given me units, I would be writing back onto your sheet 9.24 badgers? Why are you chopping up badgers and giving me a quarter of their carcass? And after a while, you'll finally smirk and move on and start using your units. So please, sidestep that whole process. Just go straight into using your units so that you get your values and your points every time.